This is our channel tab. Currently I have my kick in selected. So we are viewing the channel for our kick in. If I want to change the channel, I can just hit. So this is our kick out channel. We can go into our snare top, snare bottom, tom 1, tom 2, etc. So let's go back into our kick in, and as you can see, the plugins are visible. If I go back to the main view, not only are the plugin racks visible, but you can also have the sends, both FX and monitor sends over here. So let's start off from the left. First we have our input section over here. This shows us the input where it's coming from. We can change the input. It's currently coming from my MacBook. Your input selector, input A, input B. If it's from a local IO or the Ionic, you'll get access to the preamp and preamp gain. You have polarity switch, a gain trim, and you also have the low cut and high cut from the Emo F2. So if I turn it on, then I can move this over here. I can turn it off, and also I have delay. If I need to add delay, I can do that as well. And then we have our plugin rack. So this plugin rack is being processed by server A, and we have a complete latency of 49 milliseconds. We can turn the whole rack on and off. We can change the rack plugins by going into different presets, like maybe some preset from over here. We can just click the preset and it will come. But I don't want to do that. I have everything set up correctly. If I want to add a plugin, I can do that over here as well. I can go into my plugin list. Let's say I want to add reverb. So I have reverb added. So a good thing to do when you are working with plugins and stuff is to keep it simple, because that way you not only have less latency, but it is easier to troubleshoot. And if there is a problem, instead of fixing it with the plugin, it is always better to fix the problem from the source. Let's take a look at the main plugin. So Emo F2 is our filters that will be there by default when you open an empty session. Every track will have these three plugins over there: the Emo F2, the Emo D5, and the Emo Q4. F2 are your low cut and high cut filters. Emo D5 is your gate. It can also be your compressor, your leveler, deesser, limiter, and it has internal sidechain control. It can also take external sidechain from over here. You can patch in an external sidechain. You can also undock it, remove it from the dock, bring it back in. So very useful. And then you also have the EQ over here. Same thing. You can undock it, go back into the mixer. You have the EQ over here as well. Go back into the channel, put the EQ back in the dock. So you can also save your presets like you do with your normal Waves plugins in the DAW. Same thing over here, and you can export those presets and open them up in your DAW, just like you would with normal presets from your Waves plugins when you are doing a mixing session or a mastering session. Similarly, if you want to go back to the main view, just hit go back to main, and you have your overall view of your dynamics equalizer, deesser, and you have your aux sends over here. So we can see that for FX, my kick in is not going into any FX, but it is going into the monitor in for the drums monitor, the bass monitor, the guitar 1 monitor, and the guitar 2 monitor. So we can also change our input or output tap over here from where the signal is tapped in the plugin change. So PSP stands for post pan. This is input. So this is the pre and this is the post. So this basically helps you to get a more controlled signal being sent to your aux sends or your monitors. So to set up your aux sends, it is advisable to go into your mixer tab and then go into your group and FX and set up your aux sends over here. You can like set up your plugins. You can check out the routing of your aux sends, see if they are going into LR, or if you don't want to put them, you don't want to send them directly into LR, you can change that as well. But currently I have it set up like this. So same thing for monitors, you have up till monitor 16 and you also have your pre, post, post-pan and input tabs. Then we have the output section over here. So the output section is your group assignment, your matrix assignment, your LR, C and M assignment. You can see this track is not going into the LR, but if I go into my base, my base is going into LR, right? So then if I also go back to the front, I can see that it is going into link 1, 3 and 4. These are my link DC assignments, and it is also going into mute group 1. So a lot of things we can see from over here. If I hit the direct, it will also show me if I want any sort of a direct out. I can add my direct out from here. Maybe I want a direct out to let's say an IEM for a certain artist on the stage. I can use the Ionic to do that if I'm using the Ionic as a stage box. So I can patch it directly from over here. So very useful, and whatever you're doing over here, the best part is you can just touch something and use the touch and turn knob over here to dial it in. So that is basically the channel section in a nutshell. In the next video, we are going to tackle some extra features within the LV1 Classic.